Hi, my name is Shagon Rosary, co-founder of Orbtronics, here with another episode of Tech Talk Tuesday. Today I'm joined with our guest, Devy Frederick, founder and CEO of Gentech Analytica. Devy is a brilliant biochemist. He's been recently awarded with a Commonwealth Scholarship to attend the most prestigious college in the UK, Imperial College. Devy, over to you.
Thanks, Shagun, for that brilliant introduction. My name is Devy Frederick, founder of Gentech Analytica, and we are a biotechnology company on a mission of making genetic testing a mainstream service in the Caribbean region. We see a lot of value in understanding the intricacies in the genetic makeup of individuals, and we want to really revolutionize the healthcare sector.
So, Devy, tell us why you started Gentech and what does this mean to you?
Yeah, so during my time at university, I did courses like biochemical basis of disease, and that is why it was really interesting how small mutations in the genetic makeup of an individual could lead to the development of diseases. And most times these individuals have no say into the onset of that disease. And this was just so interesting to me. And I realized that the Caribbean is very underrepresented when it comes to genetic research. I feel like, doing a course at university, it's very difficult to get data on that information, or people are just afraid because of the diaspora of the Caribbean. So that's why I created this company, to really change this so that we could now shift healthcare, especially to a more personalized approach compared to the traditional one seen today.
Mm-hmm. So I guess to give our audience some more insights into genetic testing, can you give us an overview of what does that entail and what does that process look like?
Yeah, so it really depends on which test you're trying to do. So some tests require saliva as a sample, some would require blood as a sample. What we're trying to create is a model that is very non-invasive and does not require the extraction of blood. So it would be a swab that we would then ship to a lab to get the DNA extracted. Once the DNA is extracted, we could now sequence the entire genome and identify different markers in that genome specific to the condition we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. So I guess let's talk more specifically about what Gentech itself wants to offer to the public, and how is Gentech utilizing technology as well in your application?
Yeah, so we want to ensure that people see the value in doing a genetic test. And the way we want to use technology is through artificial intelligence. We want to prioritize non-communicable diseases, so we're focusing on about 10 of them, including diabetes, hypertension, prostate cancer, breast cancer, and the list continues. And we want to use artificial intelligence to analyze the presence of SNPs. Now, a SNP stands for a single nucleotide polymorphism, and these are very they've been linked to different conditions. So diabetes maybe have, like, let's say 10 SNPs associated with it. So what we would want to do is to use artificial intelligence to assess, okay, this person has these 10 SNPs, so they have a higher likelihood of getting the condition.
Mm-hmm. So walk me through the process of what that may look like for me as a user, someone that's interested in getting a genetic test. What would that actually look like for me, and why is it beneficial, or why is it better than what is currently happening today?
Okay, so you would go into the process would be like you would go into our website, you would select the condition that you're really interested in. So for example, diabetes, you select on that condition. We would then send you a kit where we would collect your sample. That could be a saliva sample or a swab sample, and we ship that off to the laboratory that identifies those markers for that condition. Then the AI would be doing the interpretation side of things, and then associate a risk score. So you could be a low risk, medium risk, high risk. You asked me, like, why is that important? Well, your genetic makeup does not change drastically from the time that you're born. So rather than waiting until you're 50 and you're experiencing symptoms of diabetes, you could do a test when you're in your mid-30s and then have those markers. So your risk does not change. That coupled with the different environmental factors could now give us an idea of what your risk score is. So this is a great technology for us to screen the population and see what conditions are prevalent, which ones are not.
Yeah.
And from that, you could then gain different recommendations, and then you could now do different lifestyle changes to curb getting that disease.
Yeah, so I see a couple benefits there: convenience and accessibility for the users, possibly cheaper testing as well. And also we're building our database of the genetic makeup in the Caribbean. And I guess I'd also appreciate the lack of data specifically on the Caribbean population, which is such a undervalued asset. So it's lovely to see that Gentech is, assisting and pushing forward in helping build that database so we can make more informed decisions on a regional basis as well. So what are your plans for the future of Gentech services and how Gentech's results may be integrated into an electronic health record? Tell us some more about that.
Yeah, so immediate future, we're looking to partner with different medical institutions, biotechnology firms in the region to conduct research in the Caribbean. One study that we're starting is prostate cancer in St. Lucia. And to achieve that, there are different companies that we will work with. I know a local company called Medial Health who's also looking to now bring in move away from the physical record to a now digitized model, and that just shows how healthcare should be shifting. So these are the companies that we plan on working with moving forward. Outside of that, we want to ensure that we continue increasing genetic literacy, and we most recently launched our market research campaign to find out a bit more about how St. Lucians in the Caribbean deal with genetic conditions, understanding their level of genetic literacy and what conditions are they most interested in.
So, Devy, what final words do you have for our audience?
Well, I want our audience to understand that at Gentech Analytica, we're trying to have them understand how their lifeline could define their lifestyle. And it's really important that our audience realizes and sees the value in how the previous generation, how it's affected who they are today, and how the actions that they take could help the future generations. It is very important for us in the Caribbean to understand those markers that are prominent in the population, because it has a major role to play on the lifestyle that we live. The Caribbean has one of the increasing deaths when it comes to non-communicable diseases. So if we could now understand what causes it, we could better curb it in the future.
Thanks, David. That was really insightful. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm so happy you had a chance to share with me and also our audience what Gentech Analytica does. I have no doubt in the future that you guys will do great things. I'm looking forward to your achievements, and I wish you the best of luck and best of successes with what you're doing. Thanks for joining us. And to our audience, please like, subscribe, and tune in next time for another episode of Tech Talk Tuesday. Thanks.